We have recently developed some new features for editing content on these custom pages that I'd like to overview in this brief video. You'll notice first of all that a lot of the editing buttons that used to be on the page are no longer visible. The functionality is still there, it's just that we've hidden some of the buttons and icons into a more convenient menu, but then at the same time added some other really important bits of functionality. So while the buttons are hidden to make things look a little cleaner, we've added the ability to drag and drop and then move items on the page just with the click and drag of a mouse. So for example, if I hover over this section, I have a drag icon up here. It's a little hard to see because of that image, but I'll show you one in a different section in a moment. And if I click that, I can drag it all over the page content area to wherever I'd like it to be. And then I can also use this add section link that I'll go over in a moment as well to drag new content onto the page wherever I'd like it to be. In the past, you would have to add a new section and then it would add it to the bottom of the page. Then you would have to manually move it with arrows wherever you'd like it to go, which could take quite a bit of time if you have a lot of content on the page. So this should be very convenient for you. And then the other important thing that we've added is inline text editing. I'll go over it shortly, but basically if I click into a text section, I can edit the content right here on the page without having to open up another window. So these are some convenient and helpful tools that we think will make your editing experience more enjoyable and also more profitable. I'm going to go over the layout that you see here now. At the very top of the page is a column header, and in this header we have a help link which will bring up a video, and then this icon right here shows column options. So I'll click it and you see we have a few options here. First, I can click to configure the column, which will open up a new window and let me change some of the settings. And then add section to column is the type of functionality that you might be used to. It will open up a new window. I can select a new section from a list of available types, and then it will add it to the bottom of the page. And then I can change the width of the column like you're used to as well. Then here in the right side, it's very obvious, we have a new Page Tools section. It's a new toolbar. And these options are things that have been on the page before, but we just conveniently located into this section. Edit page information will bring up a new window to configure that. The add column link, I'll do that now so you can see what that looks like. It will bring up a new window. You can change the settings on the column, and I'm just going to save it. And it will create a new column to the right of the one that I already have. And there's that new column. You can set the page as a default page. That's an option that's always been available. Page categories, you can configure those with the link here on the side. Add section, I'm going to use that here in just a moment. And then the duplicate page is something that you've had before, and you can do it here as well. And then the toggle expanded tools is a new option that will put the old icons back on the page for you if you'd like to see them. Let me show you what that looks like. So I'll click toggle expanded tools and the page refreshes, and there are the icons that you're used to seeing right there on the page. You still have the drag and drop functionality, so the icons are still here, but you also have some of the older buttons that you're used to. I'm going to turn them off for now and then show you what it's like to drag a new section into this column. So I'm going to click the add section link, and a new toolbar opens with a list of all the available content types. I'm going to scroll down here and find what I'd like to use and drag it here into this section, let go, and then I'm presented with a screen to configure this option. So I'm going to select calendar preview and modify it to the way I'd like it to be. And then save it. And there's the new section ready to go. If I wanted, I could use this drag tool to drag it over to the other column. And there it is right there, and I could move this section over to this column. Just a lot that you can do. So I'm going to move them back to the way that they are. And put this one back here. It's a lot easier than having to use arrows to manually move them where you'd like them to be. If I wanted to edit the section, as you see when I hover over this, this settings icon appears in both sections. And so if I click it, I'm presented with some of the options that are hidden but now shown in the window, so in the menu. So these are some of the things that would have been there in icons before but are now conveniently located in this menu. So I can configure the section, delete it, float left or right, just aligns it to the left or right of the column, and then the edit style as well. So I'll click the configure section link here just so you can see what happens. And again, since this is a text section, I can choose the layout. And then I'm brought to another screen with the text editor. So this is what you're used to seeing right here. And I could edit all the text in here, that'd be fine. The source as well, you can see that it's a little bit different. Some new icons here. It's an updated version. Or I'm going to cancel it. Instead of having to open up the new window, I could just edit the text right here. So as the prompt tells me, I can double click to edit the text, and it brings up an inline text editor. You'll notice there are just a couple things different with this editor than the one that popped open in the new window. First of all, I don't have the source icon, so you cannot modify the source in the inline view. So just make sure you remember that. It's just the way that certain things worked. For some security, we've made sure that that cannot be added, so that source code cannot be added in the inline editor. And then we have a save and a cancel icon up here. So as you're working with the text, if you make some changes and you decide that you want to go back to the way things were, just click the cancel and everything will go back to the way it was. Or I'll double click back in here. If you make a change and you'd like to save it, click the save icon and it updates automatically right there on the page. So no need to open up a new window. And you really get to see what things are going to look like in a better way than if you had to open up a new window and edit the text in a secondary editor. So we've gone over the different items on the page, how you can drag and drop elements from the add section menu onto the page. You can move items that are already existing on there. You can configure items using this icon right here with the things that are in the list, the options in the list. And then you can also edit the text inline with this text editor. That's the basic overview of the new layout we have here on this new system. If you have any questions, please feel free to let us know, and we hope this new functionality is helpful and useful for you as you seek to build your website in the best way that you can.